Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hate to admit this, but I'm currently driving. But God just put a word on my heart yesterday that was so powerful to me. He started the word on Friday as I was on my way home from work. And it was just like a real subtle but tremendous revelation. And then yesterday he just took that same seed that he had planted in my spirit and took it to another level yesterday. And today, I felt like it was really for me, but today he was like, nope, I need you to record this and to share it out because it's something that's really applying to a lot of my people right now, and people need to hear this. So in the Bible, there's the parable of the coins and the talents, and in those different parables, Jesus spoke about different individuals who have been given a gift, financial or otherwise, and he gave them the gifts. The master told them to go and take it, and then he would come back and check in on it. And in these different parables, you had different things that took place. So you had the individuals who took those talents. You had the individuals who took those talents and planted them and made harvest and reaped a reward, right? They took it and they multiplied it, and some multiplied it just by 2, others multiplied it by quadruples, and God blessed them as a result, right? Like their master blessed them as a result. When he came back to check, he was pleased with what they had done. They had multiplied what they had been given, whether it's by little or by lot. And then there was one who had buried it all together and gave back exactly what was given to him. And his statement was, I was afraid because I know that my master can be harsh. And the master then punished him and gave his talents away to somebody else. And in this in that, on Friday, God just spoke to me real subtle. You know, those talents were not just financial. Like a lot of times when we hear preachers that preach on that, they speak of the financial component, right? Like we have financial blessings, and it's our responsibility to make sure that we take those financial blessings and we invest them. We save them, right? We save, we become wise financial stewards. We invest, we grow our money, and we make a return on that which God has given us, that we don't squander it away or be reckless. Like that's typically what is taught around those particular scriptures and parables. But what God said to me is like, you know, when I talk about that, like one was coins and the other one was talents. What are your talents and gifts that you're just burying, or that you do very little with, or that you hold on to for you out of fear, period? Like, what are those things that I've given you that you're not sharing with the world, that you're not sharing with others out of fear? Fear of rejection, fear of criticism, fear that you're not going to be successful. What are the talents and gifts that I've given you that you are not pouring back out into the world for others to then know me through the gifts and talents that I've given you? I mean, like, oh my God, like the power of that word. What are the gifts and talents that I have given you that you are hiding inside yourself out of fear of rejection, out of fear of all the things, maybe things that have happened to you before? God gives us those gifts and talents. Like this is where he took it yesterday. This is where he took it. He was like, Sharmika, you can sing, you can cook, you can write, you're a leader. Like a part of your giftedness is your leadership. You're a teacher. There are so many gifts and talents that I've put in you. Currently, you're actively using one, your leadership. What about all the other ones? Your leadership and your teaching, that's what you use. What about all the other ones? And are you your leadership and your teaching at the capacity in which I've called you to, or just in one area. And I was like, well, God, I like to sing in the shower or when I'm at home by myself, just with kids. And God said, I'm taking you into a season where I need you to step aside, and I need you to be obedient and remove the fear. I have given you gifts and talents that I am now requiring you to put into action in places of influence in just subtle ways. It doesn't have to be a big stage. It doesn't have to be big things. But I'm about to start pulling my talents up out of you before I take them away completely. So I need you to start being obedient and using the gifts and talents that I have given you for my glory, so that a harvest can be reaped with my people, so that lives can be blessed, so that relationships can be formed, so that others may come to know me, so that the world in the sphere of your influence can reap the benefit and the blessing by my hand. It's not about, like what he helped me realize, it's not about me. So often I've heard those things because I'm like, oh, I don't want to be vain. I don't want to be like, oh, Charmaine. It's not about me. It's not about me. God didn't give me the gifts and talents that he gave me for me. He didn't give you the gifts and talents that he gave you for you. He didn't give us the money that we have for ourselves to hold on to it. He gave it so that we may be a blessing and a gift to one another, so that we may bless somebody else's life, so that we can give him the glory and we can bring others to Christ. He did it so that as a part of the village, we help support, love, and build and nurture. But that can't happen if we hold on to it by ourselves. A lot of the hurt in our world is because we hold on to it for ourselves. But when we give, and we give freely, as God allows us to, with the spirit of discernment. Don't let people take advantage of you. You got to have a discerning spirit. But as he discerns through, as he shows you through his discerning spirit, you make sure that you are pouring out and giving freely of the blessings that he's given you. You stay healthy. You stay strong. You make sure that you are maintaining your spiritual, emotional, and physical health, so that you are continually able to give from a full cup and not from you. You make sure that when you do serve, and that when you are giving of your gifts and talents, that you're praying about it first and that it's led by him, because that's the only way that you don't run empty. See, when we do it from him and with his direction, where he tells us to, for his purpose and for his motivation, then we don't run dry and we don't run on empty. It's when we do it on our own that we run low. It's when we do it on our own that we find ourselves in a position where we're on empty and we're burnt out. So as we go into this season, I just pray that you would evaluate, what are your gifts and talents? What are those things that you're just naturally good at without ever trying? The things you just naturally enjoy, that you can continue to build upon and nurture and mature, so that you can give and be a blessing to others for the glory of God and his kingdom. I implore you to read the parables of the talents and the coins, and pray and ask God to show you what area in your life are you burying and holding on tight to, and why, and how can you shift from that to being able to give freely of him. God is calling his people to a season of pouring out their gifts and talents for the glory of his kingdom and for the blessing and overflow that he has allowed to happen within his kingdom and his village. Have a great day.